Hi everyone, it's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 328. I want to talk about what older people can learn from younger people. Many people assume that wisdom only flows from the older generation to the younger generation. But after 83 years of, living, traveling, meeting people from many cultures, I've discovered something different. For example, in 2012, when I was traveling through Africa with my daughter and about 16 other people on an overland truck, I met Jared, who was a 30-year-old American, who after meeting him, I think he's one of the wisest person I've met. He had great ideas about his travel plans and in meeting his goals and his financial way of coping. I said, wow, he's probably one of the wisest people I've met of any age. And and to this day, I still think very highly of Jared. So some of my most valuable lessons have come from people much younger than me. And you'll find a lot of the young people are adaptable. They embrace change more readily than the older people. Sometimes it's technology. We know, hey, ask a young person how to use the smartphone or the computer, or they have new ideas or different ways of doing things. So they remind us that learning should never stop. Um, one great example, which I've mentioned previously, is the young 11-year-old Yuri, who is now given 108 speeches. Last week's speech was about blue dragon sea slugs in our oceans. How many of you, I knew I've never heard about blue dragon sea slugs before. Now I know something about them. So I learned something from this 11-year-old. It's quite amazing. And they often question assumptions as well. You know, why do we do it this way? Reminds me of the 14-year-old girl in Nepal, Pranchi, who one day she might be the prime minister of Nepal. In fact, talking about Nepal, they've just recently made a major change by electing a 35-year-old ex-rapper and a structural engineer to help implement some of the change. He's the new prime minister after the old guard who's been there for many decades, and they need the change. The young people said, rose up, in fact, and revolted or, and had a bit of a revolution. And now the 35-year-old new prime minister is going to make some, I think, some positive changes in Nepal. So sometimes, the questions leads to improvements that the older generations may not have implemented. And of course, global awareness. I mean, working in agri speakers, I've met some amazing young people, particularly when I visited in Romania, the young people in Indonesia, India, and of course, Nepal. It's amazing. They have more of a global outlook. They have a broader understanding. Of course, the internet has helped that enormously. When we were young, I wasn't aware of half of what was going on around the world, unlike today's people. And the courage to be authentic. Well, there's a young girl, while she was young in 2013 when she gave a speech, and I would refer you to, I'll put a link into her TED Talk. Her name was Adora Svitak. And just see the confidence that she was talking that what adults can learn from kids. So there's a um, picture of Adora when she was, I think, 15 when she gave her TED Talk. So if we all understood what we can learn from both older and younger people, then we'd have a better world. So there's a great example of that. And then also, just recently, the courage to be authentic as well. And as a closing thought, there was just recently a friend of mine referred the 22-year-old Harvard student. His name is Noah Ekstein, who just this week gave a speech that went viral, delivering a powerful commencement speech at Harvard University. And He, I think the title would be Listen Like You Might Be Wrong. His commencement speech was urging people to reject the division and embrace understanding. In a few days, this speech has gone viral. He had spoke, I think it's over 2.7 million last I looked, approaching 3 million in a couple days. I will put a link also to this commencement speech in the description in this video. So it's quite amazing what we can learn from young people. So with that, I'll say adios, au revoir. This is another note of a nomad. So wishing your family and friends lots of love and laughter. Until next time, keep learning from everyone you meet, regardless of their age. Bye for now. Until next time, from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.